What's up guys, Revolution Fighter here, back with another video. Today we're going to be discussing how you can optimize your computer for the best performance possible in Windows 10. Let's jump into it. So first off, we're going to be creating a restore point for your system to default back onto, just in case you don't like any of these settings or changes that we're making. So we're going to go heading down to the left of the screen, bottom left, and then we're going to type create a restore point. And when you click on that, it's going to bring you to this screen. Then you're going to want to head over to this button, configure, and you want to set that to about 3 to 5%. I like to keep it at 3, press apply, then press OK. Then after that, select the drive that you want to create a restore point on. Then you're going to click this button, create. It's going to ask you for a name, so I'm just going to name it backup. How about backup 0? Just for whatever. Then press create. It's going to be creating a restore point for a couple seconds. Then when your restore point was successfully created, you can just close out of this. Alright, starting off with the basics, we are going to head down to the bottom left corner again, and then we're going to be clicking on the settings icon right here. This will bring you the settings screen, and we're going to be heading over to system. So once you've clicked on that, you can navigate your way down to notifications and actions, and in here you're going to be wanting to check everything off. So just turn this, if it's on like that, just say off. That'll turn all of it off. Moving down, we're going to be going to Focus Assist, and we are also going to be ticking this off. Next, we're going to be heading down to tablet mode, and for when I sign in, choose the option Use Desktop Mode, and for when this device automatically switches tablet mode on or off, choose Don't Ask Me and Don't Switch. Also, turn these two options off. Heading down to multitasking, we are going to be turning the snap windows off, and then we are also going to be turning timeline off. And for these two virtual desktops, if you're using them, you'll know that you're using them, but if you're not, make sure that it's switched to only desktop I'm using, and for alt tab, only desktop I'm using. Then we're going to be going down to shared experiences, skipping projecting to this PC, and we're just going to tick this off. Lastly, we're going to be heading down to remote desktop, and if you have the option, make sure you tick it off unless you do use remote desktop. Then you can leave it on. Just keep in mind that some of these settings are very picky for optimization, so we're trying to get every tiny little bit of speed you can get. So some of these you might not like, and in that case you can just leave them on, but we're just trying to make our PC as efficient as possible. Once you guys are done here, we're going to be heading up to the Home tab, and from here we're going to head to Personalization. Starting off, we're going to be working with the background, so click on background, and for background, we're going to choose solid color. This is, again, might not look the best, but we're going for every ounce of optimization possible. So you can go ahead and choose your color anywhere down here, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Then we're going to be heading down to colors, and we're going to tick the transparency effects off. Once you guys are done here, navigate back up to the Home tab, and then from there we're going to be going to Apps. Here, we're going to be working with offline maps, once it loads. And down here, we're going to be checking meter connections off, and map updates off, and we're also going to be deleting all maps. So just click this button, delete all, you're good to go. From here, we're going to be going down to Apps for Websites, and we're going to be unticking both of these boxes to the off position, especially if you have the option for Windows Explorer. Once you guys are done with that, we're going to be navigating back up to the Home tab and into Gaming. Within Gaming, we're going to navigate over to the game bar, and we're going to switch this record clips, screenshots, blah 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 to off. Scroll down, make sure there's nothing else. You can untick that if you want. Moving down, we're going to go to Captures. And then for this, we're going to just untick everything. Make sure, so make sure there's no more things to untick. We're good there. Moving down to broadcasting, we can also turn these off. And then to game mode, you can leave that alone. Once you guys are done here, navigate back up to the home bar, and this time we're going to be going to privacy. So when you're in here, navigate to the general tab, and in here you can just untick all of these. Next, we're going to be going down to diagnostics and feedback, and make sure that this one is set to basic. And then for tailored experiences, make sure that's off. For review diagnostic data, turn that off. And we're also going to delete diagnostic data. When you guys are done here, we're going to be moving down to the location tab, and under change, we're going to make sure that the location is turned off. And moving down, we're going to clear location history, and then also make sure to untick all of the apps which use your location. And finally, we're going to be heading down to the camera tab, and then here we are going to check this off, and then do this, the change button, to off. However, if you do use a webcam like me, you're going to want to leave these on. Once you guys are done in here, you can go ahead and close out of this. Following on from there, we're going to be making sure that Windows is applying the most performance-oriented power plan possible. This will help with frame rates, load times, and overall just increasing the performance of your PC. So to do this, we're also going to add an ultimate power plan, but first you have to check that our Windows version supports what we're about to do. So we're going to make our way down to the Windows tab again, and we're going to type in WinVer, just like that, W-I-N-V-E-R. Click enter. This little pop-up is going to come up, and it's going to say Microsoft Windows, and then under that, version. That's your version right there. And make sure that your Windows version is at least 1803 or higher. Once you're done here, you can go ahead and click OK. Okay, now we're going to be applying the ultimate power plan. So we can make our way down to the Windows tab again, and this time we're going to be right-clicking it, and make your way up. It should say Windows PowerShell Admin, and go ahead and click on that. Once you guys have made your way inside of Windows PowerShell, you can go ahead and navigate your way down to the description below, where there will be a long command which you can copy and paste into here. It will start along the lines of powercfg. So once you're in here, you can go ahead and do Control+V to apply it, and make sure that you have the entire command copied in here. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and click enter, and this little pop-up will come up: Power Scheme GUID, a couple of numbers, and ultimate performance. So you did it. That's all you had to do. So now you can go ahead and close out of this. Now we're going to enable the best power options. Navigate your way down to the bottom left and type in power. And you may need to, if you have PowerPoint, you may need to type in power plan. And when you see this icon with the battery with the little cable running around it, go ahead and click that. So when you guys have opened up your power plan, you should be able to see this screen. Make your way over to the top, which says power options. And under here, click show additional plans. Under here, you should be able to find ultimate performance, which we just added to your PC. Now go ahead and select that and click change plan settings. Here you can change some of the basic plan settings, but what we really want to do is go to change advanced power settings. Under here, go to hard disk, turn off hard disk after, and then setting minutes, and go to 0. Yours may be set to 20, but go ahead and change it to 0. Going down, you can go to processor power management, minimum processor state, make sure that's set to 100. If not, you can just click on it and fix that, and go to maximum processor state, make sure that is also set to 100. Once you guys have done that, you can go ahead and click apply, go to save changes, and then you can go ahead and exit out as we're done with this step. Next, we're going to be heading down back to the Windows tab, and we're going to be typing in this PC. And you can see it pop up here. You're going to right click and select properties. Once you guys are inside of here, you can go ahead and head to advanced system settings, and make your way over to the advanced tab on top. And under performance, we're going to select settings. By default, your computer is probably going to have the let Windows choose what's best for my computer checked. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be choosing custom. And once you're inside of custom, go ahead and uncheck every box under here. Once you've unchecked every box, we're going to be rechecking two boxes: the smooth edges of screen fonts and the show thumbnails instead of icons. And when you're done here, you can click apply. Once you guys are done here, you can make your way over to the advanced tab on top, and under processor scheduling, choose adjust for best performance of programs. And once you've selected that, we're going to be making our way over to the virtual memory section and go ahead and click change. You're going to see a lot of stuff under here about paging files. Now let me explain really quick. So a paging file basically acts as reserve RAM. So say you have 16 gigabytes of RAM in your system, and you're running multiple tabs in Google, and you're running a really intense game, and your RAM is basically all used up. And so any spillover you might have will go to this paging file. And so the faster and more optimized the paging files, the faster the RAM spillover can be dealt with. So first of all, we're going to be unticking the automatically manage paging file size for all drives. Under here in the white section, you're going to be seeing all of your SSD or hard drives in your system. It doesn't matter if you have less or more drives than me, it's completely irrelevant. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be clicking our top drive, our C drive, and go down to the bottom of no paging file and click set. It'll give you a pop-up warning, and go ahead and click yes and make your way to your next drive, and so on and so on. Sometimes it might not be no paging file, so if you go to your second drive and you see that it says system managed file size, go ahead and click no paging file and then click set and then yes. So once you've gone ahead and deleted the old paging files, we can go ahead and install our new and optimized paging files. This part is a little hard to follow along with, so based on the criteria on the right side of the screen and what I'm about to explain to you, we're going to figure out where we should be installing our paging file. Starting off with the best case scenario, if you have an SSD on your system, you're going to always want to install the paging file to that, as SSDs typically run a lot faster than hard drives. For any of you guys who do not have an SSD but instead have multiple hard drives, you're going to be wanting to install the paging file to the hard drive which does not have your games. If you only have one SSD or one hard drive, one drive in total, just go ahead and install the paging file to that. For me personally, I do have an SSD, which is my C drive. And once you guys have selected which drive you want to install your paging file to, you're going to go ahead and select that file, go down to System Manage Size, and select Set. And under paging file size, it'll say System Managed. Once you guys have done that, you go ahead and click OK. And it will notify you that you have to restart your computer, but that's okay, as we're going to be restarting your computer after we've applied all of our optimizations. Under this tab, you can go ahead and click Apply, click OK, and we're going to select Restart Later just so we can continue this video. Alright, next we're going to be optimizing our Windows startup. It's pretty simple. Just go down to the Windows bar and search bar under that, and we're going to be typing in Task Manager. Once you've gone ahead and click that, navigate your way up to the Startup tab on top, and you're basically going to want to disable as many applications as possible. If you know what the application is, you can go ahead and disable it, but you may want to keep some applications running. But this will basically free your computer from taking forever to start up and forever to run smoothly, because it won't be bogged down by all these unnecessary processes. Like, I don't need Steam to start up every time I turn on my computer. I don't even use Steam most of the time, so you can just go ahead and disable that. How you disable these is pretty simple. So for the application that you want to disable, you can go ahead and click it and go down to the bottom right where it should say disable if your application is already enabled. Another way to do it is just to go ahead and right click, and it'll give you the option right there. From here, we're going to be making sure that Windows is actually booting with the full availability of all the hardware inside of your machine. So we're going to make our way over to the bottom left and type in msconfig. And go ahead and click enter when you've typed that. It'll bring you to this little screen, and you're going to go to boot and make sure that your current OS is selected, and head down to advanced options. For number of processors, you're going to select the check mark and go here and then scroll down all the way to the highest number possible you can and select that. It is very important. You may have less or more processors than me. You can have anywhere from 2 to 32, but whatever your highest is, select that. Once you're done there, you can go ahead and click OK. And under here, I like to select no GUI boot, and for timeout, you can probably switch that to around 5 seconds. However, if you are on a very high-end PC, you can even take that down to 3 seconds, and this drastically reduces the time it takes your system to boot. Go to the Services tab on top, and under here you can see things that are running. So you can disable certain things from starting up automatically, and also just disable all these background processes that are happening right now. So what we're going to do is click the hide all Microsoft services, and here, if you know what it is, you can disable it. Like, I don't need BattleEye launcher, I don't need the BattleEye service all the time, I don't need Steam all the time. And so once you've done that and selected, and you know which ones you want to disable, you can click apply, and it will do that for you. Once you guys are done here, you can go ahead and click apply, and then you can go ahead and click OK after that. Once again, we're going to exit without restart. We're going to make our way over to the Windows Registry editor, and this is going to allow us to make sure that games are being selected for best performance. So you can go ahead and make your way down to the Windows icon on the bottom and type in regedit and click enter. Now this part of the video is going to be very confusing for anyone who doesn't know what it is, but as long as you follow closely along to the video, nothing should go wrong. Just listen carefully. Alright, so we're going to make our way over to HKey local machine, double click on that. Then we're going down to software, double click. Then find Microsoft, double click on that. You're going to make your way down almost all the way to the bottom until you find Windows NT, double click that. Then double click current version under that. Then you're going to find, you're going to go down to the M section and you're going to find multimedia, double click that. Under that, system profile, double click, or actually, no, well yeah, double click, but stay in this screen. Don't double click tasks. Here you're going to find network throttling index and system responsiveness. Starting off, we're going to be working with the network throttling, so you can go ahead and double click that. And under value data, you can go ahead and delete everything in there. And in its place, we're going to be typing in 7F. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can go ahead and click OK. Then for system responsiveness, double click that. Under value data, you can go ahead and delete that, and in its place, put 0. And go ahead and click OK. Next, we're going to make our way to tasks under system profile, double click, and then make your way down to games. Once you're in here, you'll see GPU priority, and scheduling category. These are the three we're going to be focusing on. For the GPU priority, you can double click, and under value data, just set the value data to 8, and go ahead and click OK. For priority, we're going to double click that, and for value data, we're going to type in its place 6, and press OK. For scheduling category, we're going to go into there, and delete what is ever on the value data on bottom, and in its place, we're going to put high, and then click OK. And once you've done all of that, you can go ahead and close this out because we are done with the registry editor. Good job. Alright, at this point in the video, we're going to be moving away from Windows-specific optimizations and instead moving towards applications and file cleanup. So first of all, we want to make sure that our graphics card is running on its latest drivers. Even if you have updated your drivers recently, this is still really good to do, as there might be an important update in each one. So for all of you Nvidia graphics users, you can make your way into the description below where I'll have a link to this screen. It's Nvidia GeForce, and basically what you're going to be doing is going to automatic driver updates, GeForce experience, and click download. And this is a super simple way to update your drivers. Just follow the installation prompts and it'll basically install all of your drivers for you. It's very, very simple. For any of you guys using AMD Radeon, you can just make your way also to the description below, and where you'll find this link, and under auto detect and install Radeon graphics, just click install now, or download now. And this is basically the same as GeForce experience. Very, very simple. It'll install all of your drivers for you. You really don't need to do any work. Next, we are going to be installing a CPU core parking. And what it basically is I'll explain in here. It basically allows Windows to fully use every bit of your CPU. Now keep in mind, this doesn't mean that your CPU will always be running at 100%. It won't be taxed in any way, but if necessary, Windows can use it to its full potential. And so Usually people might have their CPUs at a lower speed and Windows won't be able to access the full capabilities, and that's basically just wasted money. I mean, you paid for your CPU, for your PC, for your laptop, whatever, and so you should be able to get the most out of it. So you can go ahead and make your way all the way down almost to the bottom, right above the release notes, and click Download Quick CPU. Alright, you'll see the zip folder is downloaded down here. You can go ahead and click on that. It'll open it up. Depending on what your system is, you're going to want to choose x32 or x64. For me, I'm running on x64, so I'll choose that one, and then click on the Quick CPU Setup. Follow the installation prompts. Install. Alright, once you guys have completed this, make sure that the Launch Quick CPU is ticked, and then click Finish. This will automatically launch it for you, and it will bring you to this. Okay, don't be scared when you see the screen, because it is packed, especially if you have a lot of cores enabled. But basically, we're only going to be worrying about 4 things. We're going to be worrying about power data, system power plan. Go ahead and check that to ultimate performance, and then also all the way down here to parking index, and make sure this is all the way to 100%. Make sure frequency scaling index is at 100%. Make sure turbo boost index is at 100%. All this other stuff inside of here is just telling you your temperatures, your power, performance, blah blah blah. But you don't really need to worry about that, as we're only making sure that Windows has full control of our CPU. Once you're done here, you can go ahead and click Apply. Cool, and close out. And last but not least, another thing you can do to allow your games and other heavy load programs to run faster is to actually disable hardware acceleration for your background processes like Google or Discord. And this is pretty simple and straightforward for both of these. So what you are going to do is you want to go to your settings, scroll down to the advanced settings, and then down under System for Google. In Discord it will be under Appearance. You go to Use Hardware Acceleration or Use Hardware Acceleration when available, and turn that off. Alright guys, now once you have successfully applied all these changes, it is time to go ahead and restart your system to make sure that all of these changes are applied and that your PC is running normally. So you can go ahead and go down to the bottom left, click on the power icon, and click restart, and then you can come back to this video. Alright guys, the last thing we're going to be doing is making sure our PC is completely healthy, our drives are healthy, and that our system is working correctly. So what we're going to be doing is going down to the Windows button, type in command prompt, right click on that, click Run as Administrator. Now at this point you can go down to the description below where I'll have 2 command prompts, and so we're going to be copying the first one, which is sfc scannow, and just click enter. This will take a couple seconds. It'll be going through a verification process, but it shouldn't take too long. What it's basically doing is making sure that things in your computer are running correctly, so it has to check everything and make sure it's all running well. Once you guys have completed this process, it'll tell you if it did not find any violations, and if it did find any violations, it'll go ahead and solve them automatically for you. And going on to the second command prompt, we can go ahead and copy that in. It'll be the DISM online cleanup image Restorehealth. Go ahead and click enter again. And this will take a little bit too. Alright, so once that last prompt has successfully been completed, it'll tell you that your operation, that it was completed successfully, and if it was not completed successfully, it will solve any problems that you may have. So after this, you can go ahead and close out. So what we're actually going to be doing next is installing the free version of Malwarebytes. So you can go ahead and go to the link in the description below, and you just want to click this big free download button. Once you guys have followed the instructions, you can go ahead and launch it. It should launch automatically after you install it though. And here you can see you won't have the real-time protection. I just have a free premium trial, but for the free version you can definitely do the scan, and then it will scan your computer and tell you if it found any malware or things. Actually, they're called PUPs for, possibly unwanted programs. Yes, so PUP stands for possibly unwanted programs, and it will try and get rid of these. Well, it'll give you the option. You'll just see it in a second. So once it's done, it will show you things that you possibly might not want, and you are going to go ahead and click quarantine. Unless you do see something that you know you are using, you can go ahead and uncheck that, then click quarantine, and it will automatically quarantine and delete those files from your computer. And this is just a good way to free up space and also improve the speed of your computer by getting rid of these possibly malicious downloads. So you can go ahead and close out of there after you've done what you need to do. Alright guys, this is the end of my PC optimization for Windows video. I hope this video was super helpful. Don't forget to comment down below if these changes helped or not, and if you like them. Don't forget to also share this video with anybody who might benefit from it, or for anyone who wants to just have a better gaming experience. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.